What's up, good people? What it do, good people? What it do, good people?
Thank you. You have a tiny sleeve? No.
Another day in DC. What's up, good brother? Chico Low, what's up? What's up? What's up? How y'all doing, man? Brooklyn in here. Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? Doing nothing, eating a late breakfast. Got a little book club meeting. It's a book that they selected. I didn't even know about this person. This brother's a DC brother, but he went to college somewhere else. Anybody ever heard of Nick Brooks? It's like a young type of read. I don't gonna say it's a young adult read, but it's like a young read. And we use these different books, whether it be a fiction novel like this one right here that I'm reading. I only read one chapter, or we'll use a non-fiction book with the pretense of what's called bibliotherapy. And I'm not a bibliotherapy expert, but I've been doing this over a year. So I'm just cooling. Little breakfast spot in this part of town.
Here, I'll take it.
What up, bro? Morning, my brother. What's happening? What's happening? Peace, yo, DC Blacks. I got two questions for you. Diddy, how can a judge deviate from guidelines for unconvicted conduct to give more time, but supposedly handcuffed by guidelines to give less time without 501K, 51K? That's what we're talking about, a 5K1. I mean, it's in the federal guidelines. I want to say it's under Rule 3500 something, something, something. You'll have to look it up. I can tell you I'm out eating right now. But in the beginning, when this Diddy thing first occurred, I informed people that didn't understand federal guidelines that the federal sentencing guidelines allows for uncharged, unconvicted, and acquitted conduct can be deemed what is called relevant conduct. I know everybody's intelligent enough to use the internet because we're on here talking about this together. So I implore you, I encourage you to Google or put into Chat GPT what is relevant conduct in the federal system and what is the sentencing guidelines, what they can use. Because the probation department, by way of the pre-sentence report, can make you out to be a monster. I know dudes that took guilty pleas to crimes that should have penalized them for 5 years, right? and they end up getting 15 years. I know dudes that got found guilty for charges that should only carry 7 years. Matter of fact, I'm gonna try to look this information up and give a breakdown on it on my YouTube channel, right? But this case came out of Southeast. A crew of dudes out of Southeast, I wanna say out of the part of Southeast called Staten Terrace, but don't quote me on that. Anyway, they were accused by the federal government of taking over this apartment and a unit in this apartment. You know, the feds juiced it up, said they took over something, but in all actuality, it probably was a situation where a drug addict, I hate to call them by different names that we call them in the streets, but where we from, they call pipe heads or crackheads. And you basically rent the apartment out, and they probably kept the apartment, and it overran the apartment. So one of the charges they had was commandeering the apartment, like they took the apartment in some type of movie. They went to trial, they beat most of the trumped up charges, but they got found guilty of the drug trafficking part of the charges, all right? And getting found guilty of the drug trafficking parts of the charge, they beat other charges. Let's say they had 7, 8, 9 charges. They beat everything with 3 of the charges. Do you know when they got to the sentencing phase of their case, they still got the amount of time they would have got if they would have got found guilty of all charges? So that's a federal sentencing scheme. I know a dude that got caught with a box of bullets for a felon, an armed career felon. He should have got 15 years based on other crimes that he was never convicted of. For an example, him and his co-defendant were accused of robbing an armored truck in Hyattsville, Maryland, and killing a dude by the name of, dang, I forgot the name. I think his last name was Shingler or something, but you can look it up. They were accused of killing an armored car guard and then carjacking another car to get away because something happened to their getaway car. Anyway, the individual that I'm talking about who was accused of it, if he really did it, according to the government, he got away with doing it, right? His co-defendant got shot in the process, left DNA in the scene, got convicted, got life without parole for it. The dude that I'm talking about continued to, I ain't gonna say he stay on, I'm not gonna say he was on the run. Hold on 1 second. So he continued to like be on the run. They got caught later with a box of bullets, right? Now, even as a felon in the DC area, I'm only saying the DC area, but let me not say the DC area, in Maryland, because he got caught in Maryland. Back in the day, a lot of DC guys, you know, guns was illegal. And even when they made guns legal here, guns and ammunition was still hard to get in the District of Columbia. So a lot of District of Columbia guys would purchase bullets or ammunition in Maryland or Virginia. They alleged that this guy purchased a box of bullets at this joint called Railco in Prince George's County on Marlboro Pike. The DEA was watching the gun store, okay? The DEA alleged that a woman went inside, purchased the bullets, a box of .40 caliber bullets, if I'm remembering it correctly, gave the box of bullets to the person who I'm talking about. They followed the person from Marlboro Pike in Prince George's County, Maryland, across Southern Avenue into DC to like Benning Road. It's no more than a 5-10 minute drive. But I believe they did that to make it to be federal. Nevertheless, he went to trial on the box of bullets. And now that I'm sitting here talking about it, I'm gonna have to look it up again to refresh my memory, right? I don't know what his defense was and why did he go to trial for the box of bullets. But nevertheless, the box of bullets, I looked it up. It should have only gave him 15 years as an armed career criminal. Through the federal sentencing guideline, they added on his previous jail behavior. They added on an attempted jailbreak. They said that he tried to break his co-defendant out of prison. They added on the shooting and killing of the armored car guard. They added on the carjacking and drug dealing and transactions from 19